Good morning, wherever you are. Waking up in the world. It's a very sunny, absolutely blue sky morning here in the UK. So, wherever you're waking up, for what I'm calling coffee time, I think any time is coffee time, good time. I said this a couple of days ago that I'd be doing a regular kind of live feature Q&A kind of exploration of a topic and calling it coffee time. So this is it, and this is going to be really fun to share with you. And the coffee that I'm drinking today, a little bit of a shout out to Brown Bear Coffee Company. This is a Jamaican coffee bean. It's a medium strength called Blue Mountain, famous Blue Mountains in Jamaica. And this is a wickedly good coffee, I have to say. Really, really enjoying it. It's got a real kind of malty, but it's fresh. The whole beautiful benefit of going for a medium roast coffee rather than a dark roast is you can actually taste the flavors. So yeah, that's the one I'm drinking today. So I'm really interested to know if you've got any good coffee recommendations of beans that you're enjoying right now, and particularly if they are medium roast. Let's enjoy those flavors. Let's not roast the life out of the bean. Let's keep it real. So anyway, on to the topic of today, and this is something I'm calling celebrating our symbiotic relationships. That sounds a really, really big, heavy title, and it's not. It really isn't. It's super simple. And a symbiotic relationship is something where both parties, you and the other person, or an animal and a plant, or a bird and an animal, have a symbiotic relationship. In other words, they both benefit significantly from the relationship. So this is not one is in control, one is serving the other, one is seeing all the benefit and reaping the rewards, and the other one isn't. This is all about symbiosis, and that is where there's mutual benefit. And so what I thought in preparation for my upcoming webinar, Finding Your Personal IKIGAI, which is a free webinar this coming Friday at 1 p.m. UK time, I just thought I'd basically celebrate the concept of symbiotic relationships. And really just to kind of, I think for me personally, and of course I've been saying over the last few episodes that it is very much about me being on this journey as well. So this isn't me just teaching, this is me teaching and exploring and just really highlighting opportunities for us to become more self-aware and then see more abundance in our life here in 2022. So let's explore this concept of symbiotic relationships. A relationship is just really an interaction between two things. It could be people, as I said earlier, it could be a bee and a plant, it could be animals. And the idea about symbiosis is this really, really important concept of mutual benefit. So if you are in business, right, let's say that you have a business and you have a number of people working for you, that is a symbiotic relationship because they have value in being paid for what they do. They have value in feeling rewarded for their skills and expertise and knowledge and what they bring to the work that they do with you and for you. And the symbiotic relationship here is that you benefit from their skills and knowledge. And of course, if you're a leader rather than what we might term a boss, then what you're doing in leading is you're providing direction, support, and guidance and strategy, showing them the bigger picture so that they can flourish. That would be a symbiotic relationship. Something that isn't in work, a symbiotic relationship, is where you have a boss and a subordinate, and it is very much seen in that way. In other words, the boss tells you what to do, the subordinate does it, feels reluctant to be doing it, feels resistance, doesn't feel rewarded. It's a relationship, but it's not symbiotic. So that is a really, really important thing. And so what we're going to do is we are going to sort of explore how this might be something that can really contribute to your personal ikigai. And so this is going to be a topic I'm going to cover on Friday at noon. Sorry, it's Friday at 1 o'clock UK time. And we're going to sort of explore how, using the concept of ikigai, we can be super present in every moment of our waking life. And we can be doing the things that we really enjoy with symbiotic relationships and the people who we are adding value to but getting value back from. So this is why this is an important concept within this whole process, and being rewarded in a way that we choose to be rewarded, and doing things that are of value. So this whole kind of higher purpose, sort of mindful living essence will come through. So what I want to encourage you to do, and I invite you to do here today, and this is only a little short session over coffee, and I've got mine. Did I say it was Blue Mountain from Jamaica? It's lovely coffee. And I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. It's a really nice coffee. I just wanted to share that. The idea behind the symbiotic relationships, though, I mean, in all seriousness, really, is that we cannot really, by definition, survive without them. So if we're not being, in every moment of every day, really, really grateful and exhibiting some real gratitude for the symbiosis in these relationships, then we're missing an opportunity to really add value in a sort of a deeper context to that relationship. And of course, just by definition, the relationships that we're talking about here can be relationships that are personal. So they can be friendships, they can be family, they can be with a partner, significant other, and of course they can also be professional. So they can be at work, in the workplace. But I think for a lot of us, as we start a little bit more of a blended style of lifestyle, where particularly if you have your own business or you're a startup or you're an entrepreneur, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be thinking about relationships in a networking kind of supportive kind of sense. And I think for a lot of people emerging from the last 2 years of all the challenges, particularly if they're looking to kind of refresh themselves, or they might be at a bit of a crossroads. And so what they're doing is they're starting to kind of rethink their world. And again, that's where this concept of Ikigai can really, really benefit you. So I'll talk about that on Friday. But as far as these symbiotic relationships are concerned, this is something that can really begin to serve you as a mindset, as a concept of actually adding value to the networking and the community that you're building. So don't just think, oh, I need to find somebody to build my website, for example, or I need to find somebody to deliver on that project because I don't have the technical skills. So I've got to get a specialist in to do it. And I'm literally just going to pay them. It's a client subcontractor kind of relationship, and they'll do the job. I'll say, thank you very much, pay the invoice, and then we're done. That feels just intrinsically like we're missing a trick here, because it might be that actually the person that you're doing the work with or you're doing the work for might have the potential to be a symbiotic relationship. In other words, if we keep really open and mindful to the idea that the people that we're encountering are not in our world by chance, there is a certain natural universal synchronicity that's going on here. You know, we are presented with people as opportunities to critique. And I'm not saying everybody's going to be a symbiotic relationship for you, but what I'm saying is that if we just keep open and mindful to the idea that there just might be something a little bit more in the fact that this person has come into my world or come into my vision, then there could be an opportunity for us to explore, in maybe a slightly deeper sense, the idea that this could be a more beneficial and mutually beneficial. This is the thing. You're not in this to kind of sort of, you know, milk the value out of the other person and then that's it, you move away. This is very much more about, is there a win-win here? If I think and just spend a little bit more time just conceptualizing what value could we bring to each other here? You know, do you know somebody who might be useful for me? And do I know somebody I could refer to you? And this is the art of proper professional networking, to be fair. And so I'm just giving this one as an example of the concept of symbiotic relationships, because if you go through either consciously or unconsciously, you go through your life just thinking about providing value, taking the money, providing value, and just continually in that loop, you are going to be missing the trick of the deeper relationship potential that exists out there. And it could be, and I say could, it could be with everybody you encounter. Probably won't be, because there will be times, there will be occasions where, you know, we have people for a reason, people for a season, and people for life. There is this phrase that my wife Sonia often uses when we're kind of sort of describing relationships. And I just think it's so true, and it really resonates when you think of everybody you know. They're either in your world for good, or they're there just for a season, just because it's kind of in passing, it was the right time, or they're there for a reason. And again, it could be mutually beneficial. To be honest, that bit doesn't really matter so much. It's just about being conscious and being aware that you have this opportunity at any time, in any scenario, any situation of meeting somebody, to just dwell just a little longer and see whether there's some added value, because there could be. And if there is, well, how exciting might that be? Mutually beneficial relationships. We often think and I just come back to that analogy of the bee and the plant again. We often sort of think that bees are attracted to plants, and because it's mutually beneficial. They're passing the pollen, they're taking the pollen, blah blah blah. But actually, and interestingly, it's not the bee's intention, it's the plant's intention. The plant has an intention and sets the scene by its color, its aroma, the shape of it, how accessible it is to the bee. So the intention actually comes from the party you don't think it's coming from, and the bee is then the happy recipient of that opportunity. So it might surprise you actually when you start to think of the relationships. You might think, oh, well, I'm the kind of the subservient sort of party in this particular relationship. I can't kind of suggest stuff. I can't sort of add value, because it's kind of like they're my superior, for example. And that simply is not the case. A symbiotic relationship is mutually beneficial, and if both parties recognize that, then great. You have got something that is very much something that will have longevity. It will move to the future, and you'll continually get value, both of you, from it. But if one party doesn't realize it, and this is your opportunity to really wake up and really be thankful, and I'm going to be trying this today with everybody I'm encountering and thinking of, just stopping, just pausing just for a moment to be just that little bit more mindful and think, is this a deeper kind of relation? Is this more symbiotic? Actually, do they need me as much as I need them? What is the relationship? Where is the value on both sides? And if there is an imbalance, I'm not judging to say, oh, that's a bad thing. All I'm saying is, think about it. Why is there an imbalance? Is that the right thing, or could you improve it? It's just a really interesting exercise. And as I say, it will build if you do this today. And I've got another little thing for coffee tomorrow to talk to you about. But if you do this today, this will be one of the little building blocks that we're going to talk about in Finding Your Personal IKIGAI, this free webinar that I'm doing on Friday. And if you go to marketingcollege.com/events, you'll see the link to this and a little bit more detail about what we're going to be covering. I'm really excited about this one, because if you've listened to my stuff before, you will know that Ikigai is a really, really it's just so valuable to every aspect of your life. And you'll know that I'm really kind of passionately attempting, and it is an attempt, to live by almost the rules that you kind of set when you develop your personal ikigai. I suppose rules is quite a strong word to use. The definitions, shall we say, of the elements that you choose to live your life by. But it's hugely exciting, and I want to share that with you on Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. But for now and for today, I'm going to invite you to, whilst you're enjoying your coffee wherever you are in the world, and I noticed actually from the statistics, I was looking to see sort of where people are sort of engaging with me from yesterday. And so if you're in Seattle, or if you're in Mountain View, California, who are two of the areas actually where I have most listeners and viewers right now. Interestingly, I'm based in the UK. So you guys over in Mountain View and in Seattle, very good morning to you if you're listening to this this morning. It's probably a little bit too early for you right now, but if you're watching this on catch up, then hi to you guys. And wherever you are, it's a very, very broad base of connection that I'm seeing here. And again, symbiotic relationships. This is people all over the world, because we have the power, obviously, of these digital platforms. So I'm just going to leave you with the thought of celebrating your symbiotic relationships today. Thinking about all the relationships, the people you encounter as you go through your day to day, and just kind of spending a little bit of a moment just checking in and seeing whether it is mutually beneficial. If it isn't, what more could you do? If they're not serving you and you think, they're actually drawing energy from me and they're really kind of not helping where I'm going with my life and with my world, then it's a possible opportunity to just kind of check in and see if there is value in retaining that relationship. And sometimes we have to make those tough decisions. I'm not suggesting that should be your focus for today. To me, today is all about celebrating symbiotic relationships, those that provide you and the other parties with great value. So I'm going to leave it there just with that one. It is just a little coffee time. I'm going to go off to enjoy my coffee and catch up on a lot of emails. Well, I wish you a really, really good day. I hope you have a really great day, and go and uncover some of those symbiotic relationships. And I shall see you tomorrow for more coffee and a little bit more of an explanation about the webinar coming up on Friday. If you're interested in that one, all about Ikigai, go to marketingcollege.com/events.